Hello, hello. Welcome to this live lesson here on the Speak English with Vanessa Facebook page. I mean YouTube page. Usually we have live lessons on Facebook, but this is the first live lesson on, I need to turn off the sound on my computer. This is the first live lesson on YouTube. So I'm really glad that you are here to join me for this important topic. I'm going to make sure that everyone can hear me. If you can hear me well, let me know in the comments. I see Navjot, Douglas, Majid, welcome. Welcome. Asim, Nathaniel, welcome from Brazil. Katerina in the Ukraine. I'm glad you're here. Today we have an important topic. It is the elections. The elections are today. The presidential elections and local elections are today in the US. So we have a lot to talk about, but first I want to say hello to all of you and to introduce myself because this is a new platform. That means that usually I'm on Facebook, but now I'm on YouTube live. So if you are joining me for the first time live here on YouTube, thank you. I'm so glad you're learning English with me, and you will be improving some expressions today, learning some useful things that you can use to talk about today, the elections, and also other topics in your life. So if this is the first time that you are here, please introduce yourself. We've got those from Brazil, Carla from Brazil, Miguel from Argentina, Mario from Colombia, Iri from Ukraine, welcome, welcome. Siti from Indonesia, Sewon from Korea, hello, hello. I'm so glad that you're here. Today we're going to be talking about the elections, and I have some papers that I want to show you and talk to you about. But first of all, if you're new here, welcome. My name's Vanessa, and I teach English to intermediate English learners around the world. As you heard from all of these introductions so far, we have English learners from Brazil, Turkey, Ukraine, Indonesia, Korea, all around the world. This is, in my mind, the ideal world. People are getting along, people are encouraging each other. It doesn't matter our background, it doesn't matter our political beliefs or religious beliefs or ideas about the world. We are connected because of our common interest, which is English. So thank you for being here. If you have not yet read my free ebook, there is a link in the description of this video so that you can download the free ebook, 5 Steps to Becoming a Confident English Speaker. This will help give you some ideas about what is the next step for your English learning journey. I know there's a lot of information out there, so hopefully this will help you to decide what's the best next step for you. So thank you everyone who is here. Oh, we've got people from Azerbaijan, from Egypt, from Manchester. Wonderful. Oh, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Today I am at my dad's house. I'm not in my house. And that's the wonderful thing about English. You're probably in your house. I'm not even in my own house, and we are learning together. So today, I would like to talk to you about several different expressions. And then we're going to talk about these papers. These are papers that were sent to me in the mail to talk about who I should vote for. So these papers are trying to convince me to vote for a candidate. These are local election papers. But first of all, let's talk about a beautiful expression that you can use to talk about the American presidential election. I want to tell you a little story. Yesterday, I was walking around my neighborhood and 2 people, maybe 45 years old, a man and a woman, they came up to me. I had headphones in, I was listening to music, I was walking, but They stopped me and said, "Excuse me, ma'am, have you voted yet? Did you know that you can vote early?" And guess what the next sentence was that they said to me? This is a sentence that I want you to be able to use. They said, "Even if you can't stomach the presidential candidates, please vote for local candidates." Let's talk about this sentence that they used, because this is really something that you could use in any situation. They used the word stomach. Stomach. This is part of your body, your stomach, where you eat. Your stomach is an organ in your body, but they used this like a verb. They said, if you can't stomach the presidential candidates. So a lot of people in the US, they hate both candidates. So because they hate both candidates, a lot of people say, I can't stomach those people. I want to know for you, what is something you hate? What is something you hate? And this is the perfect sentence to use. So in the chat box, I want you to write, I can't stomach seafood, or I can't stomach, here's some leftover Halloween candy. I can't stomach chocolate. Oh, I'm very sorry if that's true for you. I can't stomach when people lie. It's really annoying to me. So something that you hate. Yes, exactly. It means something that you can't stand. It means you can't stand something. Oh, I hate it. I can't stand it. So we might say, I can't stomach. I can't stomach the candidates. And for me, I think this is very interesting because they assumed. Assume means they guessed. They assumed that I couldn't stomach. They assumed that I hated both candidates. Exactly. Navjot has a great synonym. He says, you can't tolerate the candidates. Yes, tolerate is a great synonym for stomach as a verb. Oh, Atif says, I can't stomach ignorance. Oh, Lucas says, I can't stomach false people. Mulan says, I can't stomach arrogant people. Oh, we've got lots of great adjectives. Oh, yes, yes. Giovanno says, I can't stomach social differences. Asim, I agree. I can't stomach war. Marco says, I can't stomach having to work. Having to work. Oh. Osama says, I can't stomach chameleon people. This is interesting, and this is another great expression for politicians. Do you know the animal, a chameleon? It's like a lizard, kind of. It has a long tail and its eyes move, and it can change colors depending on its surroundings. So this is perfect for a politician. I can't stomach politicians who are like chameleons. And probably in your country, you know too, this is 99% of politicians are like a chameleon, changing colors, changing their policies, depending on what they're thinking that day or what their money makers want them to say. That's a hard thing. Oh, we've got lots of things about stomaching. Oh, Pablo says, I can't. I can't stomach conceited people. Yes, yes. There's a lot of great comments about bad people here. Conceited, arrogant, ignorant, certainly. Another Pablo says, I can't stomach many of our politicians. Oh, Kirsty says, I can't stomach bugs. Very interesting. I can't stomach bugs. So for you, insects are not your friend. Oh, Marie says, I can't stomach fake laughter. That's a really interesting one to say because you have to be perceptive to know if somebody is laughing in a fake way. but it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I think a lot of us seem to hate just unrealistic people. Oh, Masahiro says, I can't stomach loud people. So when you're on the train, if somebody's loud, you could scream, I can't stomach loud people. I wonder what they would do. Oh, I can't stomach the weather here. Hello from Morocco. I can't stomach drugs. Oh, I can't stomach the person who breaks in line. That is really annoying. You're trying to be patient and that person is not being patient. Hi from Norway. Norway, hello. So let's go to the next step. Let's talk about these two papers that I received in the mail. So in the US, I want to know in your country, is this common? But in the US, when there are elections, usually the people, like me, I'm not a politician, the people means not politicians, the people will receive, the voters will receive like advertisements for the politicians, or in this situation, against the other politician. So in the US right now, if you are living in the US, you are probably seeing a lot of advertisements for Hillary Clinton, or a lot of advertisements for Donald Trump, or a lot of advertisements against Hillary, a lot of advertisements against Donald Trump. And this is exactly what that is. So I would like to look at this, and there is a special expression I saw on this. Oh, yes. Let's talk about this expression at the top of this paper. So this is an advertisement against this guy, Roy Cooper. Roy Cooper. So this guy is a local politician. And can you read the expression that's on this pamphlet? It says, Roy Cooper didn't want to save for a rainy day. Didn't want to save for a rainy day. This is trying to show something negative about Roy Cooper. Can you guess what is the negative thing that the person who sent this, what are they trying to say about this guy? Honestly, I don't know anything about him, but I didn't receive any Donald Trump papers. I didn't receive any Hillary Clinton papers, so I wanted to show you this instead. What do you think they're trying to say about him? Oh, Navjot says, all right, bad days equal a rainy day equals a bad day. Rainy day equals a bad day. Oh, Douglas says, I think Roy Cooper will expend too much money. Will spend too much money. Yes, both of you, we can kind of combine these answers. Didn't want to save money for a rainy day. And exactly what you said, a rainy day means a bad economic time or a bad day. Typically, it could just mean a bad day. But in this situation, it means for the future or for difficult times coming up. So the opposite candidate is trying to say, Roy Cooper, he's not planning. He's not caring for your future. He didn't plan to save money for the future. He didn't want to save for a rainy day. And this is specifically talking about, there was a big hurricane in the US about 1 month ago, and it says, I'll read this to you here because this is kind of small. It says, a month before Hurricane Matthew is the name of the hurricane 1 month ago. It says, a month before Hurricane Matthew, Roy Cooper was against the Emergency Savings Fund built to keep us safe and help us recover from emergencies. So, before the emergency, before the hurricane, it says that he was against saving emergency money just in case there was a disaster. And there was a disaster. There was a hurricane, and it says he suggested draining the emergency savings reserve. Does anyone know what is the word draining? What does the word draining mean? D-R-A-I-N-I-N-G. Draining. Yes, Luis. Luis says rainy day is kind of an idiomatic expression. Yes. Yes. And Juliana asks, is it necessarily related to finance? Rainy day. We're going to talk about that in just a second. That's a great question. It says he suggested draining the emergency savings reserve. So the emergency savings reserve is the money, the bank account that was saving money. Yes, so saving means money. Oh, great, Samir. Samir says wasting something. Yes, draining something is wasting something. So you might even say for yourself, I feel drained. I feel drained. It means my energy is wasted. My energy is gone. I used all my energy. I'm so tired. But in this political situation, he suggested draining the emergency savings reserve. He suggested wasting, getting rid of the savings money for an emergency. So this is something that if you want to be prepared for an emergency, you will continue to save money for that emergency. And here they are saying some bad things about him, that he suggested getting rid of all the savings. I'm curious, this is talking about a hurricane. A hurricane. Do you think it is only a coincidence? Only a coincidence that they used rainy day, draining. Draining is the sink. Literally, the drain is the hole in the bottom of the sink. Do you think that they chose these water words, rainy day, draining? Do you think they chose those words because, oh, they just happened to think of them? Oh, it's a good word. Or do you think they specifically chose those words because they're talking about the hurricane? The hurricane with lots of water. Hurricanes are just completely rain and wind. I think they cleverly chose these words because in your mind, you're thinking about, oh, he didn't want to save for a rainy day. Like the question earlier, rainy day just means bad day. It doesn't mean always money, saving money for a rainy day. A rainy day is just a bad day. But in this situation, it's very clever. Yes, Naga, they are using it as a metaphor. That's a beautiful word. Thank you for bringing that. Yes, it is very relevant to this situation. Rainy day and draining to talk about the hurricane. I think that's pretty clever. In general, this kind of thing is just a little bit of information about him. It is exactly the kind of information that his opponent wants you to know about him. So I want you to see the final statement. Yes, Def Alt, that is true. These are well-chosen words, well-chosen words. I want you to see the final statement on this paper here. Can you see this final statement here? It says, vote against Roy Cooper. Vote against Roy Cooper. He just isn't prepared to lead. Vote against Roy Cooper, November 8th. That's today. Yes, Mulan, you are correct. They chose those words because they remind people of a hurricane And it's very much related to what he did. Exactly. You've got it, Milan. Oh, Lucas, you're correct. Marketing is never an accident. They never write down words by accident. And Imya has a great question. Is it possible to vote against someone? And this is the next expression that I want to talk about with you, because here they used that expression, vote against Roy Cooper. So who do you think paid for this advertisement? Who paid for this? I'll show you. I'm not sure if you can actually read this or not, but it says paid for by Americans for prosperity. Everybody wants prosperity. Prosperity is more wealth and a better quality of life. Paid for by Americans for prosperity, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Very interesting, isn't it? So someone who is not associated with Roy Cooper, someone who is not associated with the opposite side, they created this. Personally, I don't know this organization, so maybe they are really for the other candidate, the other side, but it's kind of interesting, isn't it? This is supposed to be a neutral party, a neutral organization who is telling people about the candidate. I agree, Michael. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't agree with that. I don't believe it. I don't think that someone is just, especially because I only received these about him. I didn't receive them about the other lady who's running. So let's talk about, can you vote against someone? And this is where I want to talk about the presidential election. Vote against someone. What do you think that means, voting against someone? Voting against someone. So if they say here, vote against Roy Cooper. Vote against Roy Cooper. What does that mean? What do you think that means? Jean-Jacques says, Vanessa for president. No thanks. I'm going to drink some water while you think about, what does it mean to vote against someone? It is certainly a weird way to vote, Nicholas. I agree. That you will vote against someone, it means you will vote for the opposite person. So let's say, for example, that I am running. We use the expression running if you are going to try to be the president. Let's say Vanessa is running for president. And let's say my husband, Dan, is running to be president as well. Probably not very good for our relationship if we are running against each other. It's just an example. If I say, vote against Dan, well, your only other choice is me. So it means exactly, Pablo has it correct, to vote for the other candidate. Juliana, yes. Vote for his opposition, yes. To vote against the other person means maybe you don't like the other candidate. Maybe you just don't want one person to win so much that you are willing to vote for someone else who you don't really like, but you're going to vote for them anyway. Yes, Nicholas has a great way of putting it. Sometimes we could be in a position where we vote against someone for them not to be elected to rule the country. Yes. So for example, maybe somebody really hates Donald Trump and they really hate Hillary Clinton. In fact, I think this is the majority of Americans. Majority of Americans don't like either candidate, but they need to vote against the worst one. who is the worst candidate. And most people who I've talked to, they say, oh, I hate this one, but I hate this one a little bit more. So I'm going to vote for this one instead. It's such a hard position to be in. And personally, I vote every day. I vote with my money. I vote with my time. I vote with my relationships. My priorities, I show every day, not just on November 8th. And you too, at the moment, you are spending time with English. So you are voting for English with your time. You are voting for this specific thing because you are showing it is a priority, your time. Or maybe when you buy, for example, this is my dad's Kleenex box. The brand is Kleenex. When he buys this Kleenex box, he is voting for this company to continue to create this product because he bought it, so they will continue to make it. So every day we vote. Every day we vote with our money, with our time, and we have many more choices than just two candidates. So typically, in the election time for presidents, Luis has the quote, the expression that I want to use right now. Luis says, the lesser of two evils. Oh, this is probably true for your country too. I want to know, Luis, Luis, do you do this in your country? In your country, do people vote for the lesser of two evils? Let me explain this situation. So evil means really bad, terrible, awful. We have two evil people, two bad people, and we have to choose who is the lesser. Just a little bit, not good, just a little bit less bad. So in the US, especially today, a lot of people will use this expression. And really for the last couple months, people have been using this expression. Oh, I need to vote for the lesser of two evils, but I don't know who it is. So it's a difficult situation, I would say. Oh, Nicholas has a good question. Can you show us a voting ballot? Maybe if there was a sample online ballot, I could show it to you. But in the US, a ballot, this is the paper or the electronic device where you vote. This is on a machine, and you go into the building and you go close to the machine and you electronically choose which candidate you want. But there's probably an online sample ballot. In fact, that would be a really interesting thing to see. Some of the sample candidates. You could see our friend here, Roy Cooper. Not really our friend. Oh, we've got great comments about politicians. Thank you, everyone, for your participation. I really appreciate it. Oh, yes. Yes. I think we've got a great comment here about Francesca says, I think we can vote every day through our choices. But the president, politician, and the man in power could limit our freedom. That is completely true. Yes. That every day we vote with our choices, but we live in a world where politics is still important. It's still part of daily life. So even if I hate Trump and I hate Hillary, you have to choose because someone will possibly, like Francesca said, will possibly limit your freedom. And highly likely, that's their job. So Anne has a good question. What time are the election results? What time are the election results? The elections finish at 7 p.m. At 7 p.m., in the US. So I think 7 p.m. Eastern time. Actually, I could be wrong. It might be California time. I need to check because in the US we have four time zones, and typically the elections try to allow some time when people finish work around 5 o'clock. They want to allow some time for workers to go and vote. So if the elections close at 4 o'clock, a lot of people won't have the chance to vote. So I would guess 7 o'clock Eastern time, but it might be 7 o'clock California time. Or it's possible that they will start showing the results from the East Coast, and then the next time zone, they'll show the results from the next time zone, and the next, and the next. So this is going to be a long process tonight. I'm very curious, and I don't really know what's going to happen, but in the end, I'm glad that we have a president instead of a dictator or instead of a king. Still not a good choice. Not good choices today. But in any case, thank you for talking about the elections with me. I hope that you will be able to use this expression, I can't stomach. And we almost always use it in the negative way. I hope that you can use this expression, I can't stomach angry people. I can't stomach politics. I can't stomach. I hope you can use this expression, can't stomach. I hope you can also use rainy day, rainy day. We often use this together, save for a rainy day, but you could say it for something else. So I hope that you are saving money for a rainy day. Save for a rainy day. Maybe you have to vote against someone. And the final expression we talked about was the lesser of two evils. In your country, if you have to vote for the lesser of two evils, well, now you have an expression to talk about it. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for talking about this controversial topic. This is something that usually on YouTube or social media is highly controversial. So I want to say congratulations. We had a 35-minute conversation without terrible comments, without lots of controversy. You are awesome. This is something that we all can talk about because we all have it in common. We all have to deal with the lesser of two evils. So thank you for your inclusion today. Thank you for really participating, and I hope you will come back next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, I will be here again live on Facebook. So please join me again on Tuesday. And if you would like to join me on Thursday, we will be on the Speak English with Vanessa Facebook page, which is in the description below. In the description, there is a link to my Facebook page. So Tuesday, YouTube, 9 a.m., Thursday, Facebook, 9 a.m. Eastern time, and by the time we have our next lesson, we will know the answer. Who is the next American president, and will it really make a difference? We will also probably know that too. So thank you, everyone, for being encouraging and showing that we can talk about politics exactly like Tiago said, without fighting over politics. Just learning together. Oh, thank you, Alyssa. Alyssa says, I understand more in this video than many years of school. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Jelson, for joining me. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. And I'll see you again on Tuesday on Facebook, Thursday on YouTube, and feel free to read my free ebook right now in the comments below this video. 5 steps to becoming a confident English speaker. Say good luck, Roy Cooper. See how it goes. And we'll see you all later. Bye, everyone. I need to figure out how to close this because it's one of my first times using YouTube Live. Thank you, everyone. See you later. Bye.